Good afternoon, this is Stouffville Now, and I'm your host, Sarah Newton. Thank you for tuning in today. On the show, Edward Nelles and I have a chance to sit down with Rob Hargrave, now Councillor of Ward 6, who's just recently thrown his hat into the ring for the next election, in hopes to continue on as Councillor of Ward 6. Let's see what he has to say. Well, I know, it's an all ABBA show, usually, Rob. But I just want to say, Mr. Hargraves, you talked in the first segment there about all the change you've witnessed in Stouffville. And we often hear from council members, from people in the town, that Stouffville essentially is a little afraid of change. And you totally exemplify the opposite of that.
The only thing constant in life is change. Exactly. That's the only constant. It's an amazing thing that when you go through it, we 2 years ago put out a survey. So we wanted to find out what was the perception of the residents. And it was a very in-depth survey. It took in a lot of questions about what the town was delivering and how we were going. And that survey came back at 96% that the residents loved this community. And that was at the height of our growth. So wow. Change is embraced. You talk to anybody that's new, that moved into the town, love it. Mm-hmm. We have water park. We have some of the best sports facilities now. I think of Soccer City. I think of the Spirit Complex. I grew up in this town where we didn't have all of that. Mm-hmm. We just had an outdoor pool. If you could get there early enough, you could actually have a swim. It was like the walruses and everybody coming to the ocean. But we are growing, and what's going ahead of us with the expansion of Memorial Park is unbelievable. Mm-hmm. So change is hard. Yes, it is. But it's always sometimes for the better. Mm-hmm. Have we lost our small town character? I don't think so. This is one of the communities where you can actually still go through a no frills or a metro and people say hello. Mm-hmm. You could walk along the street and there's a smile. So I think we will not lose that. Stouffville is going to be a population of 60,000 when it's fully built out. But it's going to maintain its integrity. Not like when you look at Aurora, Newmarket, and Richmond Hill, that's kind of just all conglomerated into one. Mm-hmm. We're going to have our own identity. There's a green space between us and Markham. Mm-hmm. We've got what I call the mountains, which is a moraine. To the east, you can't build. To the west, you can't build. To the north, you can't build. So those barriers will keep us a unique little town.
I had a comment from a farmer in Stouffville a couple months ago now. He said, I'm selling and moving north. And I said, well, why are you doing that? He said, Markham today is Stouffville in 20 years' time. I think you disagree with that.
Absolutely, mm-hmm. 100%. Mm-hmm. And I find when I'm out there knocking on doors in the last election, and I've just over the past little while, we have people from Markham, Unionville, moving up to Stouffville, and even Uxbridge saying, what a great community. Mm-hmm. Because we're close to the city, and our motto is country close to the city, mm-hmm. whether you like that or not. I think it's a great tagline. It is. We're not going to be overrun, and that's just perception of people. Sure. And people perceive things in certain ways. It's like change. They look at it and they say, my God, things are going to change so bad. Mm-hmm. We're going to become overrun. We're not. Mm-hmm. There's plans in place. There's a lot of processes that are done at the town office with the director of planning, with council, that ensure that the growth and development is managed.
I had another comment from a citizen of Stouffville who said there's actually two Stouffvilles. There's Stouffville of Main Street and there's Stouffville of Hoover Park. The two seem to be developing as two solitudes. What do you think of that?
Not the case. We have one of the best, I think, unique downtowns of all of York Region. And why I say that is we have a gem that's just south of the Main Street, and that's Memorial Park. Mm. And when you put Memorial Park beside downtown Stouffville, you can't beat it. Mm-hmm. We have park-like setting that is, I'll use the terminology, mini Stanley Park. You have a wonderful recreational complex there at the Lebovic Center that has recreational, it has swimming. You have outdoor facilities, parks. One of the gems is a baseball diamond. Mm-hmm. And I can remember what the mayor said when we went through the redevelopment. He says, I want to make it like an old town baseball stadium. Mm-hmm. And like Chicago Field. You see the brickwork around? Yeah. It's great. So,
or the old Maple Leaf Stadium.
Yeah, and that has character. I mean, people come to the park. They walk their dogs. They go through there. And the other thing that connects with the park, which is truly amazing, is our trail system. Mm-hmm. We have 35 kilometers when it's finished of trails.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And I had the opportunity yesterday to go through a trail system that's starting up on Ken Loshway all the way through and it's being built. There's probably about 6 kilometers that nobody, and I said to the mayor that we have to get this on the website, that can walk through. It's trail. Literally, what you can do is if you want to start at Byers Pond and take a trail system walk, you could end up at the Stouffville Park up in Bethesda.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And a lot of people, as I say, get out there and get active. And I'm a runner, and I run through the trail systems, and I think it's beautiful. So those comments about two sort of identities, downtown will always be downtown. Hoover Park has a power center. Absolutely. But we have the specialty shops downtown, and that's where people shop. And, you know, you look at my biggest mantra to people that say, what are you doing for downtown? I ask them is, are you shopping there? Do you support the local merchants? And if you're not supporting them, how can they survive? And one thing, being a long-term resident, I support them 100%. The meat shop, the Fickle Pickle, it's all a part of putting your dollars back into your community.
Right.
And the people that are not putting their dollars back into the community then can't sit back and say, what are you doing? They have to survive.
Yeah. Walk the talk.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, it's easy to, if you're downtown and you're working and for convenience, but stop and think. Come down on a Saturday and walk the main street. And, you know, it's the coolest thing is that Fickle Pickle on a Saturday and a Sunday is one of the greatest places to be for breakfast. You see, it is. It's a watering hole in the sense it's for families. And you get to walk up and down the main street and then walk through Memorial Park and take a walk on the trail system. I think, you know, we have it all here. We really do.